And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESA Contender Series, Round 1. We have two amazing matches for you tonight, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Jenna, aka Giraffe Row, and today I am here with Cherish. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. Yourself?
Uh, I'm going. We're going. I've got some exams that I was doing earlier, but we're coming into cast now, so I'm having a good time.
Heck yeah. So, our first match is going to be Amongst Kings versus Medieval. Now, historically, we know Medieval to be a rival series team, if I'm correct. They were on the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the, I guess, or they're little tadpoles, right? Um, Bottom of the totem pole. But they actually made it through, if I'm correct, made it through relegations and were able to get to the Contender series.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the first time in Contender Series, whereas historically as well, Amongst Kings was just about on top of the ladder right next to Valkyrie last season in Contender Series. So they haven't moved up, but I mean Evil has. So I mean, to our knowledge, this is actually the first time these two teams are going up against each other in ESA and
Yeah.
on Villa.
Yeah. So on that for the maps, we've got Villa, Coastline, and then Theme Park as our decider. Here on Villa, Amongst Kings is going to be starting on defense. um, which is interesting because Medieval chose to start on attack, even though it was amongst King's map pick. Um, it's pretty interesting that to show how confident really they are starting attack on this map. So, in terms of rosters, we've got for amongst Kings, we have Yams, Scams, PBQ, Resent, and Skiboza, who will be, I think, under the name Fragboza. And Medieval has Beezer, Nivozo, Exile, Anarchy, and Sad Boy Sim tonight. So we'll see how they can fare on this notoriously heavily defender sided map. Um,
Yeah,
especially starting on attack.
right.
So I don't know, no real surprise bans, I'd say.
Other than, well, actually, really, yeah,
Valkyrie,
none
I
of
wouldn't
them.
say, yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't say Valkyrie's surprised, but it's not like n-
she's
normal.
out of the ordinary, but not a surprise. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
yeah, she's definitely not somebody who you would exactly expect to ban over other Intel operators, but she's also a good alternative to ban if you want to use those operators, like let's say Echo, right? Even though you did, yeah, you got 6 pick to mute, but this point still stands that Valkyrie could be huge to be banned out, and alongside that Jackal, you would normally see, once again, other utility operators being banned, but I feel like Jackal is something you fall back on more of a comfort pick than anything. But the big thing here is the fact that they are
uh,
going library.
yeah,
Alright.
I think we both realized that close to the same time. Um,
You know,
they started living
interesting primary.
library.
Yeah, interesting primary site to being played. Of course, to some extent, they had to have played it and said, you know, hey, this is a good strategy to go. This is something that could be useful to try out at least. So they have to have some faith in what they're about to do right here. I like the fact that castle's being used to block off and absorb a little bit of utility, specific doorways and all of that, and the fact that they have a rotation hole into the piano room over on this side. That's something that you don't normally see, but it makes an extended hold, which means that the defenders are going to have a little bit of a harder time making their way through the bottom floor. And I mean, you'll have to see it, right?
I'm confused. I'm missing two. I like to count reinforcements now and again when I see these interesting strats, and I'm missing two reinforcements somewhere. But they, like you said, to mention that they are amongst kings is holding very extended here. There's 3 guys upstairs playing with reinforcements, and a lot of sight lines opened up thanks to the many shotguns between Mute, Mozzie, and the new Super Shorty. Oh, there's the other 2. There we go. It's the Super Shorty on Castle now that he has. The first point of contact here is going to come in from Study as Medieval is clogged up already, taking a minute just to push out this Ella. But actually, Beezer has made his way into 90, uncontested, and now he's going to get a point of contention onto Yams. Scams is going to get Navozo on the side, but Beezer with a second on a PBQ and a third on the Resent. That's the Mozzie and the Jaeger going down right after he picked up that opening frag. Onto, actually, no, he did not pick up the opening frag. I think Navozo came out first. Nope, he didn't get Yams. My bad. So that's just me talking to myself at that point. 3v4, or 2v4. 3 for 1 as Navozo went down, but Beezer did go pretty huge upstairs there.
Right.
And now this Montaigne is going to start to work his way onto site.
All right. So, yeah. 2v4 situation. Scams and Frag Boza. That's your Castle and Mute, respectively. So you still got the shotgun left up on the board. But as I say that Caster's Curse, that's going to be Beezer picking up. Scams will get the ace. And he will. He got the ace. Amazing
Round 1 ace. What a way to start,
Round
I
1
guess.
ace.
What a way to start the match. And I mean, sure,
Entry
yeah,
fragger.
there's like, it's like take it with a grain of salt that it's, you know, it was Living Library, but also it's just like, man, yeah, it is, it's Living Library, but like, man, an ace on the first round is definitely a tone setting thing, as only 1 kill went over for the side of Amongst Kings.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Yeah,
that's gotta give you huge confidence.
Good one, Cthulhu there. Failing to report Beezer for hacking.
Attackers need to
That's
locate
gotta
and
give you
defuse
confidence.
bombs.
In the fact that they chose specifically to be on attack, and they're dominating on attack. I mean, can you expect more from these guys? He went 5-0. I mean, you can definitely see why they chose their specific side and how well they're gonna shine. Well, we'll see how well they're gonna shine, but I definitely it's something that I would not be surprised if they really dominated huge on their attacking
5
rounds.
seconds left.
Mm-hmm. So the way I'm seeing this currently,
Attackers are
it's
moving out
not.
to locate a bomb and defuse
It's something that I've seen before, in the sense of how Amongst Kings is handling their defenses. And it's not so much like a let's throw them off type of deal, but this is something that Latin America does a lot. In Latin America, Villa, aside from the other night, I think like on Tuesday, or yeah, yesterday, NIP took like a 5-1 defensive half. Notoriously, Villa in Latin America has been heavily attacker sided, and usually they try and do this stuff. They will avoid aviator games like the plague, and they will just go heavily on dining kitchen. They'll go trophy statue when they can, and they'll even try living library. And like I said, they just try and so heavily avoid that main site that a lot of teams will go to. And it's interesting that we're seeing this come out now too, because it definitely shows that Amongst Kings is at least expecting Medieval to have a really strong attack side on Villa here. Navozo is going to... speaking on that attack side, though, Navozo is going to get the opening kill onto PBQ as Beezer goes down. The hot hand from last round is down, but 2v5 very quickly as Anarchy and Sim get 1 apiece. That's Monty getting 1 too, actually, with the pistol. And the Buck, just blinking health, able to get another. Beezer is on similarly blinking health, but with a minute 15 left in the round, full upstairs control is in the hands of Medieval. And we might be seeing a flank here from Skiboza.
Potentially, but yeah, the true definition of roam clear
Ooh.
was yeah, in full swing,
Oh
but that
no.
frag, oh, so unfortunate. Gets nomaded out, but he picks up one, he picks up the double. Is he gonna pick up the third? That's a 2v3 situation. He evened out the odds so much. And Resent truly evening us out, putting us to a 2v2. They know how to play their time, they know how to play their space, and 1v1, but a 1v0 as Amongst Kings pick up our second round.
Wow.
Yeah, playing with
So-
their space is definitely a big thing for Amongst Kings. I mean, the fact that Echo, once again, able to get through, trickle through the defense of the attack and pick up every and all, security that the attack had and just crush it, entirely crumble it it was absolutely huge, right? That double kill entirely changed the play out of the round.
Yeah, I think either of those attackers are on any higher HP, and there's no way Skiboza gets either of those kills, especially the Buck. The reason why he did not get punished for hitting the air jab was actually something that I completely missed. He managed, mostly because he has the suppressed MP5, I couldn't really hear it over the air jab. He got a single bullet off before getting hit by the air
Attackers
jab,
need to
which
locate
downed
and
the
defuse
Buck.
bombs.
So he didn't kill the Buck immediately, but the Buck had no possible way of countering out, which was pretty interesting, as it allowed him to successfully ignore that gunfight. And instead of taking a 1-on-2 against the Buck of
Attackers
Sim
have
and
located a bomb.
the IQ of Beezer, it fully allowed him to focus on Beezer and take that gunfight. So, good gunplay from Skiboza there, as he was able to make that one work out in
10
the end.
seconds to go.
But yeah, like I said, on the off chance that Beezer didn't go down earlier
5
or
seconds left.
Sim was any higher health, there's no way that Skiboza lives after hitting that air jab, and there's no way that really at that point it's either a 4-on-1 or a 5-on-1 even for Medieval against Amongst Kings, and there's only so much that that little UMP can do. But yeah.
All right. Well, trophy room and Goyo going the Vector. Interesting pick as he's holding a long line down 90.
This hold.
Yeah, it's odd choice. And yeah, I saw the Mutant Lacliza with the 3 Jaegers being put there. Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one for the attackers to go through.
Yeah, this is a hold that's been coming up a lot more. Usually, sometimes you'll see it. You either play. This is crazy too. This is more aggressive than what I thought it was going to be. So
Yeah.
usually you do see that left wall on triple being unreinforced to allow a long angle from an ACOG or something to help out the mute should anyone push in. I've not really seen anyone play it this aggro to the point where they're having someone play in that weird like double window thing, but it makes sense. It still holds the same principle. It's just getting someone to help out the man in the closet, and this is like almost another another step built from the bank hold on blue stairs, or rather the blue stairs hold on bank.
Okay.
Is how
But
I word it.
interjection. Sorry. Big
No,
note.
yeah.
There is no Jaeger device where the Jaeger is
you
actually
just see-
sitting. Yeah, in Nomad was looking right at the Jaeger, right there. The Jaeger's down. But the entire time, you could have grenaded out the Jaeger.
That's true. You're right.
Entirely went around every single Jaeger device that he had, not have had to go to that 1v1 situation. But yeah, right.
Oh.
The attacker's flawless round. That very quick execution. I feel like that wasn't gonna work even in the first place. The Jaeger devices were not spread out enough. One, that was their first mistake. Okay, so your utility isn't being dispersed correctly enough. And then 2, yeah, the aggro hold was a little bit too much, right? The Jaeger, the Goyo shields were dispersed of too easily. And with the Jaeger being in that specific spot, he is so vulnerable when the Goyo shields do go down, in which it was very easy for them because there's no Jaeger device sitting behind the Jaeger itself, then you got nothing to protect yourself. And when those Goyo shields do go down, you're screwed because you get hit with the fire, and on top of that, you're getting riddled with bullets. So nowhere for the Jaeger to go, and then the mute gets very easily pinched
Attackers
or,
need to locate
pincered
and
in some
defuse
way
as
because
many
you got
bombs as they
control of
can.
master bedroom and your entire extended hold just depletes. There's no
Mhm.
way around it.
I don't know. I mean, it completely passed over my head that them putting 3 Jaegers in the closet.
Bomb
There we go.
located by
I didn't
attackers.
realize that putting 3 Jaegers in the closet meant he has none and he can't save himself from a grenade. But it didn't really matter because
10
Medieval's
seconds
guns
to
were
go.
just that much better than Amongst Kings, and they
seconds
were
to go.
systematic in picking apart that defense, especially once the
Attackers'
Montaigne,
objective is
and I
to
think it
defuse
was
the
Beezer
bomb.
and Navozo came from the flank um, through the study side, but now
Right.
part of the part of a way to help deny that, as I think they're not going to hold in that closet anymore on this hold, is Pulse hiding down in the living library area, as he's going to be able to very quickly detect when this split push is going to come out, and we'll see if he's going to be able to C4 anyone or if he's just going to be playing basically like a
Intel.
extended camera for Yams here on the dock in 90. They do have the
Well,
yokai. It's up. We're good.
Attackers have located a bomb.
it is, and now, yep, the south side take is going to be put into full swing.
Wait,
Sad Boy
where
picking
was
up one. That's Frag Boza down, so that's your Echo, aka Utility, and Plant Denial all wrapped in one, so no part on execution is going to be prevented in terms of anything else than a one-on-one or utility kill.
Mm.
But either way, yeah, that's interesting duality to this push, right? We see one coming from 90, well, 3 people coming from 90, you got 2 people coming from the master bedroom in the hands, well, to Pincer, yep, that PBQ there, he gets taken down, so you got a 3v5 situation. Trophy is entirely clear. You open up master bedroom with the thermite, so you got to way into the objective, and then on top of that, you can make the execution happen very, very easily. I mean, these defenders are isolated at this point. It just makes it that much easier. Now, 2v4 situation. Resent's gonna pick up one, but he gets refragged all the same. 1v3. Now the plant is going to be going down, but Scams, he's below. He gets a double kill. Will he be able to prevent this plant? All in all, you got 1 minute left on the round, so you still got a good enough time to make the plant actually happen. Now, Nomad, yeah, she's gonna go looking. She's gonna go attempting to find the pulse. But Pulse, yeah, he's going to be flanking up the blue stairs with Nomad now on cams. Interestingly, that's a flank cam right there. But
Yeah.
you see definitely Montaigne, he's being spotted, so you know where the planter is. And you know, well, you got intel on both of the attackers now. So Monty being in, that gives Scams a triple kill, so he knows exactly where the planter is, but Nomad shuts him down right at the helm of Master Bedroom.
So in reality, not to downplay how great Scams did there, he had landed 2 good shots through the floor, one onto the planter, and I think on his like first or second shot after pulsing out the thermite, and then he also landed a great shot through the smoke, and then killed Beezer through the floor. Oh, Yams and PBQ. Oh, they're not playing the same game that the rest of the boys are playing. But still, he, not to downplay how nearly great of a clutch that was, but still, at the same time, there's no reason it should ever get that close to a one-on-one from a one-on-4 for Medieval. But we're gonna head to Aviator Games now, as we're looking to see
Attackers need to locate
how
and defuse as many bombs as they
Medieval
can.
wants to tie this half up with a bow if they can, or if Amongst Kings is going to try and get some more rounds before their own attack half.
Right, so Medieval is proving to be a huge opponent against Amongst Kings. Of course, we said that they made it through relegation to get into Contenders, but me personally, I didn't really expect them to be a huge driving force in this match. Frankly, I thought Amongst Kings was going to take it for themselves, but I really like to see that they're putting up a good fight against Amongst Kings, and that they're proving their worth by the end here. It's something new to see, and Medieval could
5 seconds remaining.
eventually be one of the hugest teams, one of the
Attackers are moving out
biggest
to locate a bomb and defuse it.
opponents, I guess, to go against in Contender.
Yeah. So obviously, we don't want to like gas it up too much just because it's 4 rounds into week 1. But
Right.
at the same time, it still stands to be said, I think. I mean, you're going up against what was the second best team in Contender last year, or last season rather, and through 4 rounds they have 2 donuts, like 10 total kills. It's definitely a clinic coming out on this attack from Medieval for the most part, I'd say, aside from the mess up, a little bit of a mess up last round. Um, it's definitely coming out really good for their side on this attack, on Villa especially. And like that's something that I harp on a lot and I will continue to harp on, but it's just like almost weird to see that they're up 3-1 on attack on Villa in the tier 3 scene, because you don't see, even at like tier 1 with EU and NA Pro League, they still will play, and they'll still play Villa and it'll be 4-2 or 5-1 defense halves. But
Bomb
yeah,
located by
here we
attackers.
see Anarchy's just pushing forward with Skiboza. Sees him on the cam, and he's actually got a yokai still in his pocket. He's trying to play like season 2 Echo here, or year 2 Echo, back with just 1 yokai when he was okay and seen as like a really weird pick. But here comes the second one finally, as it comes out to try and help deal with Anarchy here. One of those Echo Sonic Blast will take down the Monty Shield, but Beezer takes down PBQ as he swings out from the breach, I believe. That little... Oh no, he just shot him from behind the Mountain Shield. So yet another, the 5th straight opening pick for Medieval here. 4 of them, I think, have been Beezer alone. I think only 1 has been Navozo. So Beezer, as this entry, is definitely a driving force for Medieval. As speaking of which, the Nomad of Navozo is trying to hunt down Yams, who they did seem to know was downstairs. And a bit of an unorthodox breach comes out from the Thermite, as they're starting to now work their way into games.
All right,
With
30
30
seconds left on the
left.
clock.
Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you too much of a
Oh
window.
no.
Beezer, unfortunately, killing out Sad Boy. That's sad. TK, but double kill in the hands of Beezer as he walks right into Aviator. That's control for the attack. They're getting a pinch in on the defense, and just like that, they've won out the round. That's your 20-second execution. That's gotta
Damn.
be. That is your
That
20-second execution right at the end.
I
I
mean,
like how they're taking it
was
from 2 different angles, and they moved it down from each side of 90, right? You had one coming in from landing, you had a person coming in from study, you had somebody coming in from 90, the Monty. Just the presence of Monty can make you rethink an entire defensive strategy. I mean, it is so hard for some teams to get their way around Monty because, of course, he's not the only one that's going to be with you in a specific area. There's going to be 2-3 people hiding behind Monty because you want to be able, there to support your teammate. You want to be there to shield them, and
Defenders,
right, that's the
protect
whole
your bombs
purpose of
from being
Monty,
defused by
to kind
attackers.
of give you the intel, be a forward man to go up, but at the same time allow your teammates to move around you and play fluidly. In 90, Monty is perfect because it's a long line to be held for him. His presence kind of has to make the defenders go around and change up their strategy, change up the way they're holding 90 in general, and then it allows, therefore, for the attack to move in and easily take it without even having to do
10
those
seconds left
face-to-face
before
engagements.
insertion.
Yeah. So, I mean,
5 seconds remaining.
this Montaigne has just been probably some of the better Montaigne work that
Attackers
I've
must
seen.
locate and defuse the bomb.
There's a really good line between, or not a really good, I'd say it's a pretty wide line between good Montaignes and bad Montaignes. There are plenty of bad Montaignes out there, and thankfully Anarchy is one of the good ones, because he played almost like a deployable shield for the first half of that push, and then the second half he played as a deployable shield in the sense that he stood on the outside of the game room's door at an angle so that Beezer could peek off him successfully without over peeking. He could peek the bar aggressively while still being mostly covered. And then it didn't really matter because it did matter because Beezer did get a kill, but rather in the sense that Anarchy, once they got those opening picks, he could just flatten out into the doorway and just become a reinforced wall essentially. Oh man, I don't know where I was going with that. Beezer nearly gets taken out by a Nitro coming out from Resent, which goes a little by the wayside, as now Scams picks up Sim for the first opening frag for Amongst Kings, but Beezer and Navozo quickly chime in. The Jaeger of Yams picks up his first frag, but Beezer with a double, and now Anarchy puts that in a very fast 1 versus 3 just for Resent. Back here on Kitchen Dining, a 1 versus 3 with yet another pulse. Beezer does go down, so it's just a 1 versus 2 at least against the Montaigne and Exile on the Thermite. But still, this has been a nice a nice treat to see when it comes to these opening frags, because Medieval is playing in a way where they aren't they aren't letting these opening frags just happen freely. I thought Resent was going to peek that. They're not letting them happen for free, and they're not letting like their kills just come for nothing. Like usually you'll see an opening pick happen, and then a bunch of times stall out for silent, with nothing coming back. But quickly,
Right.
Medieval is letting it come with a trade as Anarchy starts to plant, but no, good coverage from the Thermite as Exile cleans it up for a 5th round out of 6 on attack on Villa. I'm in awe at how Medieval has been playing this. Essentially, almost 2 flawless rounds too, aside from Beezer's team kill on that Aviator Games attack. They would have had 2 flawless rounds. Beezer with an ace in the first round. I mean, he himself has been going crazy on this this attack here. And now Ever the Gentleman, he's playing Castle, the
Right.
team player.
Yeah, he proves his affinity for support as well as, entry fragger going in as IQ versus Castle. You love to see it. You do. You love to see
Mhm.
it.
Attackers need
But
to locate and defuse as many
one
bombs
thing
as they can.
that is definitely huge right now, role swap. Okay, this is going to show the true colors of the attack versus the defense, and definitely give us a display of who does what, who does where, what roles we can see, and then on top of that, the real gun skill, the
Yes.
positioning, right? The just everything that is
Mhm.
huge about Medieval, we're gonna see that tested in its entirety. Because, right, this can be an attack-sided map,
10
very
seconds
high
remaining.
level, but even, T3 kind of pushing it even lower, it tends to be a defense-sided map, Villa, which is,
Mhm.
a little bit what you were saying earlier. So
Attackers are moving out to
the fact
locate a
that this
bomb and
is a
defuse
very
it.
attack-sided map, which it seems to be in this scenario, definitely proves to be that we're playing, we seem to be playing high level.
So I keep you. They still have 2 reinforcements each on Navozo and Beezer. I just noticed too. I forgot you could see those. So I keep
Yeah.
mumbling to myself, and I'm just like, "Oh yes, yes, finally!" Like I just keep like muttering to myself as Scam seems to have a bugged out barricade for himself.
A bomb has been
Um,
located.
yeah, I just keep muttering to myself because finally, Medieval is actually setting up the what I think is the best way to hold upstairs in that closet. They have put up
You
castles.
guys were muttering when I was talking.
I know, my bad. They've been putting up castles on those tiny windows in that weird connector thing to help support. As actually though, that's gonna be the smoke of Exile going down as now PBQ chimes in with his first kill on the round and picks up Sim. Wherever he was, I think downstairs, as now is very quickly a 5 versus 3, and well, the closet defense is nullified. I mean, it's what took Medieval a while to take care of is taken care of in about a minute by Amongst Kings here, as it shows now actually bees are going down by scams with that skeleton key from below. And this is, well, now it's Amongst Kings' turn to put on a show on this attack here on Villa.
Right, and once again, this map proves to be very attack-sided at high level play, which of course is what these two teams are playing at. You see a 5v1 situation. Will it be a flawless round for the attack? It very well could be if Novozo isn't able to get an opening frag for his defense rounds on his team, and he will not, as Yams comes in and finishes off the 7th round for Amongst Kings in Master Bedroom. Nice headshot. Oh, it wasn't even a headshot, it was a body shot. I thought it was a headshot.
Yeah, speaking on nice headshot, that was a crazy flick onto the Maestro in Astra there. But wow. To
Right.
go from getting slammed like that on defense to coming out with a
Right.
flawless round on attack, definitely
That's a change of pace. That's a change
yeah.
of pace. One thing, sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
you
one thing
go.
I wanted to touch on was the fact of Buck. He was using verticality. He was able to get at least one kill. I wasn't able to see the rest of them, but he picked up one kill from Master Bedroom, and I really like that he was able to go below in unison with this team's utility and the resources of droning, all of that, to get a kill. Not only
Defenders,
that,
protect your
but
bombs
secure a
from
little
being
bit more
defused by
area
attackers.
for the attack to walk in on Master Bedroom. It really gave them a little bit more security, a little bit more confidence when they were rolling through the top floor, which can be huge when you're trying to get through top floor Villa. You know, every battle is a fight, every part of top floor is a fight. So,
Mhm.
really glad that Buck was able to do that. That just segued the round much easier for the attack, and it got them in the building
Yeah.
if they weren't
So,
already.
yeah. So this is what
10
I was
seconds
saying.
left
These
before
little windows, at least one gets castled, and it allows a
5
bit
seconds
more
left.
security. It's interesting that he left the like
Attackers objective
the
is to
one
locate a
window
bomb and defuse
through
it.
the rotate soft, but castled off the other one. But I mean, it's there. It's medieval strat. It's not my strat. This is why I cast and not play. I don't exactly know what's going on there, but once again, Scams is going to go and try and open up down here, as I think he's got a barricade bug again, but he can't seem to get in the building here, as he probably, yeah, it looks like he has a shut door, and it's open on his end, so he'll have to make his rotate away as he now looks to try and once again flush out Exile from this closet area. And interestingly, oh, the Zofia charge hits just above the head of the Ash there of Resent. So, oh yeah, you're right. But Novoza, what? Where did he come from? Novoza's all of a sudden in kitchen and dining room as he picks up 2 onto the bottom downstairs players of Scams and PBQ there, who's been having not that great of a game, sadly, but that is another opening frag on the cards for Medieval, as now Novoza is going big once again. Sim chimes in with another one, as now it's just up to Resent and Skiboza here. The Ash and the Hibana, a pretty good pair, all things considered, but when you have to take down a couple castle barricades and all you've got is 3 Hibana pellet, the X-Kairos pellets, it plus the reinforced walls, it definitely makes for a rough time.
It does. Now, what's interesting is the fact that Habana was sitting on the blue window of all things. She kind of seemed a little bit lost there as Beezer is able to pick up Resent by about 1 minute left in the round. And now, yeah, Fragbos is entirely lost. I don't know. He definitely won't be able to come back on this, a 1v5 situation. But I'm hoping that he and his team use this time to figure out what went wrong in the attacking strategy and maybe improve on it and fix it a little bit. Right? Because now that the defense is evidently winning, they're going to have to be forced either to a bottom floor hold or an Aviator Games hold, which can prove to be a lot easier for the attack and in the ways that they can surround the objective being a top floor.
Yeah. So now that they, in theory, have won this defense, unless either Skiboza is the best. Well, as I was going to say, it's actually a proper flawless round. I was going to say, unless he's the most insane fragger in the world, or he decides to toggle all of a sudden, there's no way he was going to come out of that one on top. And, I mean, back-to-back flawless rounds. I mean, to get flawless and then to take them back to that site and flawless right back, well, that is a statement on top of a statement. As now, like you said, one of two sites really, because you're not going to go to Living Library unless for whatever reason you're amongst kings. Between Dining Kitchen and Aviator Games, it's Aviator Games now as a pretty standard. I would call this like a bunker down, hunker down. I was thinking of bunker defense and hunker down at the same time, but showing all four of Smoke, Mute, Kaid, and Maestro basically tells me, like, at any point, you're not really gonna roam. There's not gonna be a ton of very far out aggression. It's just gonna be, whatever you can muster coming off of peaks and just waiting for amongst kings to push into them. And I think that's part of just been in general the downfall of both teams, especially amongst kings on their defense. They played very aggressive, and Medieval was just able to win their picks and win their ones and come out on top and just push off that. And Medieval is just not giving amongst kings that same leniency on defense here.
So one thing that I would like to see that could be really interesting to throw in the mix of the defense is and I was just gonna say that Navozo, he's holding bottom floor. He's sitting in basement, finally
what?
utilizing every single floor that Villa has to offer. Thank God, because we
I think
know
that's where he
that
came from. Sorry, to really quickly. I think that's where he came from probably the last round, now that I think about it.
Oh, okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, I definitely didn't pay attention to that last round. Good find. But anyways, point is that it's nice to be seeing that yeah, I saw that with the buck shotgun. No, it's nice to be seeing that every single floor can be utilized by the defense, and the fact that they are able to go in and say, hey, we can use this spot on the map and kind of play off of the attack, flood through the cracks of their defense on attack. Their little bit of security that they have from nomads, gridlocks, whatever, and maybe get a kill, maybe get a trade, something that could be useful in the end of the round, or that could come up even mid-round. So, and I really like to see it, and hopefully we'll see more plays off that mute in the coming seconds.
Yep. So
But we aren't, so
Yeah.
because he died. I saw that. I just saw it last second. So unfortunate. But 4v4. That's a trade. That's a double
What?
trade actually. Sad
Nice.
Boy's picking up a double kill for himself. PBQ is gonna be going down, or sorry, Scams.
I don't know where Scams was looking on that one. Definitely
Yeah.
not a lot of information coming out as Sim was able to pick up a double kill. Able to take down the two downstairs players, as now he has been hunted down and taken down by Resent. But yeah, that mute play not really working out that much as he did go down. Exile's down to one smoke and 40 seconds left, as that's pretty good management from the side of Amongst Kings, as it offers them a lot. Flashbang is going to get sizzled out over his head, as now Skiboza has taken just about half his health, or over half his health rather, in smoke inhalation. But with 20 seconds left, Yams is going to stun his own teammate, but Resent still gets a kill through it onto Anarchy. That's the Maestro going down as Plant starts to come down. No smokes, no C4, able to deny it, but that Cage shotgun able to pick up one onto Yams. Resent is going to clean up Beezer for his third kill of the round, but Exile with just a little bit of health on Skiboza and Resent. This is very winnable for him as he's coming around the flank from main hall, or from red hall rather, 90 hall, whatever it is. He's going to be able to pick up the Hibana and almost the Ash, but no, just on a tiny bit of HP. Resent able to clean up his fourth frag of the round, doubling his frag count for the match. just in that one attack. And now it's 6-3 for the side of Medieval still, as it's going to be one round at a time here, really, for Amongst Kings to try and pick apart this defense to just get it to OT. And then, even then, Medieval starts on attack yet again, which they obviously rampaged on in the first half.
It was definitely a very close round for Amongst Kings. I think, yeah, they have a very steep hill to climb with the rest of Villa. Medieval definitely chose a good map, chose a good side for them to start on because it gave them the motivation, it gave them the, what am I looking
Defenders,
for?
protect your bombs from
The
being defused by attackers.
momentum to continue on and keep the run going even in their defense rounds. Which, of course, Amongst Kings is trying to work back, trying to pull off their attacking rounds, but it is such a hard challenge for them to get through. I personally don't think they're going to pull it off. I mean, this is any and all mistakes are going to cost them the game. This is what me
Yeah.
and Hans call no point of return or point of no return, whichever you want to call it.
10
But
seconds to insertion.
essentially, it means that your back is up against the wall. You have no other options. You're gonna have to play to your strengths, do as well as you can in the round, and
The bomb.
trial and error is the best that you can put it.
Mhm.
Because whatever you were doing before obviously didn't work, so now you have to work your way back up from square one.
Yeah. So, on that, I mean, I don't also want to play, negative Nancy to Amongst Kings or talk down on them in any way, but it is definitely a high mounted task here for them because, sure, they can obviously potentially win this round as they just did, even though it was close. They can make it happen in this round, but then you just have to go once again to Trophy Statue, and for 2 rounds most likely. Obviously, the last time you went there, one of them went your way flawlessly, but it also went Medieval's way flawlessly as well. Resent is going to keep up his fragging ways as Yam took a
Attackers have located a bomb.
TCSG shot to the chest, taking him down below half, but Resent able to clean that one up, taking down Navozo's Cade. As now being tapped through the floor is Resent, taken equally down to below half by Anarchy. That Elda chipping away, not really known for its tap firing, more for the hold mouse one and drag your mouse down and pray that you can
Spray and pray.
someone just walks into that 80 bullets because yes, of course, the ACOG was indeed the problem with that gun. And there is, that's why Maestro's pick rate definitely went down. Thank God it is April 1st because that was the longest April Fool's joke I've made. 'Cause, man, that gun is so stupidly strong.
Okay, but one thing that's odd to me is the fact that Buck is holding the flank. Out of every single operator that can be used to hold the flank and stay on utility, wow, that's a that's an interesting engagement, but trade nonetheless. Now, yeah, Buck is holding the flank out of all players, but they don't really have so far anything that could be used, like an arbitrary drone. Nothing really, you know. It just seems like they're putting players in specific spots and kind of just hoping that they're gonna sit there and hold it the best they can, which isn't necessarily the best idea, but I mean, hoping it'll work, right? 3v3 situation though. Sad boy. He's gonna pick up one. That's Frag Bozo off the board. Your Habana, so unfortunate to say that, but that's your hard breaching.
15
And
seconds left.
nothing really good to come of that. Now, however, the attack is in the objective. They're sitting in Aviator room right behind the couch, and that's a Vault being contested right next to the Maestro with that 80 capacity Alda, but with a 1v2 situation, it's not looking good for PBQ. Will he get?
Operators, you are out of time.
He will. He will actually get
No.
bested.
Oh. I thought you were going to say, is he going to
No,
make it
he won't get both kills. He won't get both kills, but bested.
Because he whipped around on that Jaeger and almost took him down. That would have been insane if he managed it. But Nope. Sadly, not able to make it happen as 7-3 is the scoreline for Medieval here. And I believe probably we'll check with the players, but we probably will be going to a break, assuming normally we usually do, but sometimes teams just want to roll on through it. But yeah, we will be headed to a break. In the meantime, we'll get some replays from this one rolling, and we will see you for Coastline in just a few minutes.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Contender series of ESA. Now, our second match is going to be Coastline. Of course, you have your same casters here. My name is Giraffe, aka Jenna, and I'm here once again with Cherish. And we'll be starting very soon. But one thing I wanted to touch on was Coastline as a map. Now, Coastline is huge on frags and utility. We know this as players of the game, we know this as competitive players, but the huge thing for the attack to be walking into this is the fact that roam clear is essential, right? You go from, we'll say the site is hookah, right? You have to go from top floor all the way from penthouse and roam clear the entire top floor. While there isn't a lot of space to have to hit, it can be very hard where the defense can choke you up on a lot of different spots. So, big security when it comes to attack, and operators like Nomad and Gridlock could be essential to that security. And if those operators aren't used, or if you don't have something to secure an attack, very easy is what the is what the roam is going to be. And as well as that, courtyard makes rotations streamlined, very easy yet predictable. So attack could very well take advantage of that, which is what makes roaming on coastline such a double-edged sword, because it's risky, yet it could be very, very rewarding. Now, our first character ban is going to be Jackal. You want to take that one away from me?
Well, that's been a ban now, both maps for Medieval. Jackal just pretty good on these big, wide maps, as now Amongst Kings has banned Valkyrie in both of these maps. As I'll go and say it, I will also say Joe up there. Go Joe eSports in Challenger League, but yet Nomad as well, which saw a lot of play coming out from Novozo, and Nomad is an interesting band. But once again, Jackal Mira comes out from Medieval, not wanting to mess around with either Spanish operator. As we're gonna head kitchen service. Now, one of the things I personally like about Coastline, especially as of late in the meta, is teams are very flexible on a lot of these sites. There's a lot of starts on uh, Blue Bar, a lot of starts on Hookah, and a lot of starts on Kitchen. I'd say Kitchen is usually the one I see the least. I'm starting to see it more than Hookah, though, because I think a lot of teams have figured out Hookah more or less. And there's some interesting stuff you can do here. But usually, as of late, the double bar setup has gotten pretty popular. And I'm not totally sure why. I think in part it's just the meta shift to this very stall heavy meta, so that you're fine with taking what has historically been a weaker site in double bar, and you're fine with taking that because you just play on the hopes that you can stall out the attack long enough so that when it comes time to attack the site itself, you should still have a body count majority, and yeah, just a majority when it comes to players up still. And yeah, so one of the nice things too about Coast is no hard breach is necessary, and I think that helps out for it just being such a frag heavy map.
Right, which is where stalling can come in, because you want to prevent the frags from happening, you want to prevent those engagements. So what do? You have to get away from them altogether and kind of, yeah, once again, stall out your enemies, stall out the attack, which really good point for you to touch on there. I really like that. Now, the actually getting into this, the top floor is once again going to be contested by the attack. I really like the way that they're going about this. They have a good pace that they're keeping up, but at the same time, it's not without being very informed of who's where and what's going on. A little bit interesting that we're not actually going to be seeing an attacker hiding somewhere top floor. I know, it's not. Sometimes it can be very fluid with rotations, but competitive. I really would like to see that. Now, Sad Boy is going to be opening up the kill feed for this game. That's going to be Scams. Unfortunately going down, so that's your Buck, aka Utility, fragging and frag grenades off the board.
Yeah. So a nice shot there coming out from Sad Boy Sim from the lobby. Hiding behind that desk, but Yams is going to quickly refrag onto the Mozzie of Beezer and just backtracking a bit onto that stall. Medieval's running Mute Mozzie. I've been very vocal about how much of a favorite lineup this is as for myself, as equally as annoying as it is. So it really stalls out attack because you can't drone as effectively with these two operators. However, it seems like Yams doesn't really need that much drone work as he's able to pick up 2 frags, one on the Sim in the lobby and the other onto Beezer in the Sunrise Bar. PBQ is going to pick up another onto Anarchy. That's the Maestro going down. And it's just down to the Smoke and Mute, the SAS duo, as that C4 is going to get ripped and launched out. Able to pick up one on the PBQ, shut him down quickly as still Yams is alive. As now the smokes are coming down, but from the flank, it's Resent all down to the Mute, and Yams cleans him up. A nice opening round, even though that Sad Boy Sim was able to pick up a nice frag to start off with. Yams was able to clean it up with a triple kill and finish out the round for his team to give Amongst Kings, I think, their first lead in this matchup. They didn't lead at all on Villa, so yeah. That map was entirely at every point on Medieval's favor. And now we'll see if Amongst Kings can take it their way. Villa was Amongst Kings' pick, actually, and this is Medieval's pick. So, interesting to note, Coast is usually attacker-sided, just because it's frag-heavy, like you had mentioned. And as a result, usually, obviously, you at this level, you just expect to hit headshots, and you want to hit headshots as much as you can. But when it comes down to it, if you're going to hit body shots, 9 times out of 10, the defender guns are, or the attacker guns are going to beat out defender guns just because of damage values. So when it comes down to it, these long hallways for ACOGs to benefit the attackers. And I mean, we're going to go and see how Medieval is going to be able to finish out this half after a pretty commanding attack comes out from Amongst Kings to start.
So, another thing that makes Coastline so frag heavy is the fact that you normally get it down to a team deathmatch due to the post plant being very volatile. Now, what I mean by this is the fact that a lot of Coastline can be, well, it's very open. A lot of the sites are, in the way that you can plant and the way that you can get around. So it's very open to flanks and open to retakes for those opportunities. And with that being said, it makes the plant so much harder, and it makes the plant holding it even harder. So you kind of have to get it down to frags, or really you have to have the security of the objective. And by the time you get the security a lot in Coastline, you basically have the game, or you have the frags to end the round.
Yeah, so I think this is actually, now that we are also into I just realized there Nivozo has picked up the Wamai. Oof, a nice shot from Resent onto Beezer is going to take me away from my point really quickly. That was the man behind the blue bar, the Legion, as now Beezer is down to an 0-2 start after a nice start on the last map. But speaking of, Nivozo is able to pick up one as Resent on the balcony is cleaned up by Anarchy, helping out the Wamai there as he caught Yams with his back turned looking for the Valkyrie cam. So good capitalization there from the Wamai, who, as I was going to say, this is the first week now that we are into spring that him and Callie are allowed, as is Theme Park, which we potentially could see next map, or we'll see if Medieval can win this one out. But aside from that, Nivozo is going to pick up another as Exile chimes in with one down onto Scams, bucking from below, and it's all down to PBQ. He still has two low health enemies, both around, floating around 25. I think Navozo's at 30, but nope. That's the Maestro. No, it's Navozo, just kidding, for his third of the round. Able to pick that one up as it's now down to 1-1 for the score as the defense of Medieval wins out on Hookah and Billiards Room. And now there it is, the Blue Bar Sunrise Bar, which I am excited to see how Medieval chooses to hold it.
I really am too. Because Blue Bar is so open to interpretation, along with Sunrise Bar, that it makes each time you cast in, each time you experience it, it really is a whole new sight and something new to pick over, something new to analyze. So yeah, you're definitely right in that point. But one thing I wanted to touch on was the huge emphasis on going Aqua and the fact that it was shut down pretty early into the round, and then the attack attempted it and kept on attempting it and was really holding stagnant angles. Therefore, it kind of led to a much easier round for the defense by the end. Not saying it was impossible for the attack, but it wasn't really a good sign of, well, moving forward with the attack in general. Because you had a lot of guns pointed at Aqua by the time that Ash got there, and when
10 seconds remaining.
PBQ attempted to peek it, he was completely lost.
5
He was
seconds
lost
left
in the
before
frame.
insertion.
So,
Attackers
yeah,
objective
I mean,
is to defuse a
like you
bomb.
said, to go off that Blue Bar being pretty open to interpretation, usually we see something similar to this. At least the bottom of that main wall to the courtyard does get blown out. That is a lot more blown out than I expected. Usually you just see feet holes, but that's like the bottom half of the wall, as usually that helps out with a player playing in lobby, able to contest that wall, or anyone rotating around from like security or kitchen, able to contest. And yeah, we're going to see both of those actually. A player, the Mozzie, lurking around the security room, and the Leishan in kitchen. So a pretty wide hold, as you expect down here on the bars, as it's up to Amongst Kings to either flush them out or just play from above. And they have been playing pretty well, pretty good vertical play so far, as now Maestro is going to get found out, caught in the rotate hole by Scams, not expecting that hatch to be popped open so quickly, as now Yams has taken all but just a sliver of his health, I think, probably from Beezer here. But that's another opening frag that's still the way of Amongst Kings, and onto a very influential pick in that Maestro. A good find, as the Legion is not able to win the long-range gunfight against PBQ, only taking him down to about half health. And now Beezer is going to launch that C4, not find any damage, and actually shot from security by the IQ. PBQ pushing in, and very quickly it's a 4-on-2. Yams isn't even going to get tagged there by Exile, as he's now taken out by Yams. So 5-on-1 all for the Jaeger. This is pretty lost, as he does pick up one and almost a second on the buck, but Scams confirms his second kill of the round, and a very swift attack when it came down, leaving only one man down for Amongst Kings, as they take another back and forth round here so far, starting out on almost called it Consulate. Nope,
Consulate,
this is not
Coastline.
Consulate. This is Coastline.
Coastline. For this hold, you said that a huge thing. And of course, I'm not a huge, I cast a lot as much of Coastline as I would normally other maps. Surprisingly, I don't normally see a lot of the meta, especially in Blue Bar and Sunrise. So you're gonna have to correct me on this if I'm wrong. But from what I've been told by you, by other casters, is the fact that Blue Bar in Sunrise can be huge for being stalled, right? It's big on time, you kind of
Defenders,
waste
protect your
time
bombs from being
preventing the
defused by
one-on-one
attackers.
engagements. So what I would assume from that is the fact that the defense would have to be a little bit more passive and use their gadgets, maybe even use an engagement once in a while to waste time out for the attack. But really what it seemed like is they were stretched a little bit too thin with their roaming. They played way too extended, and for that it allowed the attack to isolate the defense players and make quick work of them. Right, we saw the Legion going down, I believe. I'm not sure if that was from White Stairs or from, I think it was from Bathroom, if I'm correct. And then on top of that, we saw the Mozzie getting pinched from a library when he definitely could have taken the opportunity to move back to Blue Bar, play a little bit more safe, but he just allowed himself to be a quick, easy frag. So then my question is, for the defense going to this round, what are they going to change? Are they going to play a little bit more passive? Are they going to not waste as much time with the roam, or are they gonna get a little bit more creative with it? I'd like to see.
Yeah. So, to like you said, correct you if you were wrong. You were not wrong though. The problem that I could see, at least when it came to that roaming, isn't the roaming itself, but rather that like you said, they're spread just far too thin on Medieval's side. There was no refrag coming out, and it didn't so much stall as it just left them open for easy picks. Especially once the Maestro went down, there was very little site defensive play, allowing Medieval to play more aggressive on those roams, and yeah, so they were going down. Speaking of almost going down, actually, is Navozo taking some shots from PBQ as he was trying to get aggressive on a Resent, but that Scams being taken down by Sim as he's going for a 2, but no, unable to pick it up on a Resent. PBQ gets in a gunfight somewhere as he's almost going down to the Legion, who's on just a sliver of health, as he's actually getting pretty aggressive here and takes down the IQ. Resent still left on just a sliver of health, but that is the operator lead so far for the side of Medieval, as once again we're looking at a back and forth round here, and we'll see what Medieval can make happen in these last, or rather amongst Kings can make happen in this last minute and a half here. Resent with 3, in fact, as he picks up the man behind the bar and the man across in blue, but no, shot by his own teammate of Yams, sprayed down, actually put one in his head like old Yeller, as he is not allowed to take any more kills. But now it's just Yams and Skiboza against Navozo and Beezer, both of whom are not full health. Navozo especially on just a single bullet's worth. But now 30 seconds remain, and it's up to this attack with very little info, trying to get past the Mozzie pests and find where Beezer and Navozo are to make this happen. Oh. There it is. The feet holes come out as Navozo picks up one and Beezer the other. And a nice pair comes out from them as they're able to clutch it up. And like I had said, back and forth here. Medieval and amongst Kings trading round for round, blow for blow. And something I was going to note earlier really fast too is the presence of Wamai. I know Ubisoft like to create him and introduce him as an alternative to Jaeger, but at the point in the meta, Jaeger is just so strong and so dominant in play. He sees almost like 90% pick rate or something stupid like that. He's so commonly played in a lot of strats, and he's almost a default pick. And Wamai isn't really being picked to counter him out, but rather to support him. It's on a lot of sites where there's just a lot of throwables being used, especially, you know, this site where you would take a an aquarium push, and there's, you know, the smoke grenades come out from, or not smoke grenades, smoke bolts come out from Capital, plus the grenades, plus the Zofia, this and that, and, you know, everything comes out, and it's not so much just using him to clean up for Jaeger, or rather, yeah, he does clean up for Jaeger.
Okay. Oh, sorry about that.
You're good. I cut a couple times to like let you talk, and then you're like, I was like, oh, she's not taking any.
No. It wasn't. Something caught
You're
my
good.
attention.
You're good.
It is. I'm not even gonna ask. But let's look at this round. So, an interesting position from the Mozzie. For him to be sitting in Aqua in the corner, I don't really like that. I don't know. It seems it leaves him way too exposed. But hey, if you can sit in the corner and maybe get a frag off of that, more power to him. Yeah, he finally gets spotted by the drone. Yeah, but. Right, more power to him if he's able to get a frag or even peek out and do so. But yeah, it is definitely an Aqua-oriented push. It's something that you do like to see. But at the same time, it has its downfalls, being that it's very open and it allows the defenders just as much as the attackers to walk right in and get a retake, given post plant. So, and of course, along that, there is the floor below, which you can go below in Nitro or pick off one of the attackers on. So, yeah, and right here, perfect example, Jaeger going up through luggage. He's gonna meet the Zofio within, a few eminent seconds, but idea is that it makes it very easy for the for the predictable defenders to walk right in.
So a nice nade comes out from Scams from below, blows up the smoke, and it's just down to Anarchy. He has as he picks up 2, in fact, but not enough bullets in that magazine somehow to clean up the rest as PBQ, almost called him PBK for whatever reason, PBQ, able to pick up the Maestro, stop his little attempt and spree, as now a third round comes out for Monks Kings, and back to Hookah Billiards. So not even going to attempt another kitchen hold is going to be Medieval, as they're definitely focused on these two sites between Sunrise and Blue Bar and Hookah Billiards. And I mean, at some point, so this attack has succeeded. No, it has not succeeded twice. It has lost twice on this. No, it lost the first time around on this site. I'm dumb. This attack has succeeded the last round, and it lost the first round it was played. Now it's also Skibosa's turn to pick up donut duty, as he's sitting on 0, and Beezer is having a quiet game compared to last one. Navoso picking up the slack himself, as he's got 6 frags over these 5 rounds so far, but Beezer not really having that same magic that he did last time through. So
Yeah, it could have been just Villa. Could have just been the map that he was
it
on.
could have been Villa, it could be attack side Beezer. You never know.
Yeah, we know, but right, this is our last round before the role swap, and out of all places, we're gonna be going Hookah. Now, something interesting to look at with the team composition is the fact that Capitao is being used, which, correct me if I'm wrong once again, but for the first time. I believe, yeah, is it not for the first time? He was used last round? Okay, well, I didn't see him being used last round, and I guess he was, but... Thank you, Cthulhu, for that, our broadcaster behind the scenes. But anyways, so Fragboza was used, but this round I still would like to comment on the fact that I really do like Capitao being used. His unpaired, unmatched utility could be absolutely huge for anybody, having to go through post plant or even just trying to cut off rotations. But wow, chaos is ensuing. 3v3 situation. Lots of kills on the board already. We have Scams, Resent, Beezer, and Sad Boy going down, unfortunately. So that's Beezer. He's not spawning in quite yet. But Sad Boy as well. So unfortunate. Going 3 and 5 this time around. But that's your Jaeger and your Mozzie off the board. So Mozzie being the deployable and mobile utility that you can have throughout the round, and for him to go down is in effect a waste of such utility, unfortunate as it is. So that's some of your, intel going down. That is your frag ability being able to go down too. So bad on part of the defense, but as well as the attack. I mean, you have two good fraggers going down. We see Scams and Resent. They're both going positive, and that's Buck too, and your Ash. So that's utility huge.
Yep. So, minute left, as now the smokes are going to start. Well, they're at least, the first one's going to get placed. And that weird little spot, if you're unaware, is a nice glitch spot. You can throw the smoke down into that corner, and it will gas anyone in what's called default plant there, right behind the bomb that gets held there. As I think someone pushed out for a second, out past the smoke, but then fell right back. As now Yams is looking to support from the flank. The smoke might get caught out here as no one is watching these stairs. But nope, the first Zofia concuss comes out, hitting the Wamai as he's not going to be found as he pushes aggressively down the stairs. Maestro goes down through the bullet holes as PBQ picks him up. Navozo, though, able to pick up Yams and choking in the gas as PBQ
What is
finished off by
PBQ
Exile.
doing?
I'm not sure what he's doing, as now it's just up to Skiboza. Will he pick up his first frag? No, Navozo, yes, I said it right the first time. Cool. Navozo picks it up as he cleans that one out. For a 3-3 half coming out for Medieval, and realistically, that's pretty good on Coastline, especially for the way Medieval looked before. Their attacks definitely seem, not to put anything down on their defenses, but it definitely seems like they are far more comfortable on these attacks and far more deadly. So we'll see how they can take it out over these next potential 6 rounds. And yeah, do you by chance, by the way, know who got the opening frag in that round? Was it Medieval?
I think it was
Okay.
AK, yeah, because it's showing right now. The Buck had downed one. Actually, it was Beezer who got the opening kill. It was Mozzie who got the opening kill.
Okay.
Yep, watching it right.
So
it was Beezer.
cool.
He got the opening kill. He was traded out really quickly though. Right.
Okay, cool. So both teams went 3-3 on opening picks in the first half, which is pretty cool to see. They traded opening picks in the first round, so meaning when I say that, I mean Medieval got the opening frag in round 1 and then lost the round, and then round 2, the same thing happened the other way around. AK picked it up but lost. After that, though, whoever picked up the opening frag won the round. So that's coming out to be a pretty common occurrence in Siege in general, as this is an interesting hold coming out up here.
They're definitely making a big emphasis on top floor, which is no surprise, to be fair. You see 2 roamers on top floor quite often to prevent the verticality from coming into full swing, right? The Buck, which is obviously present, sad boy, he's on the Buck. So he could be absolutely huge for the presence of the attack. Therefore, the planting going down. It's just, verticality can be big on frags. And for the defense to be roaming top floor, well, they can actively shut that down. Now, Mozzie and Jaeger are going to be there, but just as I say that, Caster's Curse Navozo is going to be picking up the Jaeger, so unfortunate for Yams, but that gives the attackers full control of VIP, therefore allowing Gridlock to, well, do her thing inside.
Yeah, no longer Mozzie and Jaeger upstairs, it's just Mozzie. And this has become, well, Caster's Curse. It is no longer Mozzie and Jaeger, nor is it just Mozzie. It is neither of them, as now Sim is able to pick up Skiboza as well. That's your Echo going down, and that man is 0-6. That is so rough. But this round is looking so in favor of Medieval, and something... Oh, just kidding. Resent with a huge C4 coming out on the pulse here. Able to find Sim and Exile. Not too big fragging powers so far in this match, but at least some good assistance from the Buck. And it's helpful with the IQ going down too. That actually, a huge flank coming out here from Resent. He's not going to be spotted by the Zofia as the other two are still outside. He's not even going to be heard by the Zofia, who's very patiently watching into the kitchen. This could make it a 2-on-2 very easily. As he's going to get shot from behind. That's a triple kill for Resent. The smokes come down, but he's not going to be able to spray down either Navozo or Anarchy. He still thinks someone is up above, as Anarchy is going to start to get this plant down, but no, Scam swings out wide, able to deny the plant. And now he's not going to go down, actually. The SMG-11 beats out the F90 there, as Amongst Kings wins out a round against all odds, starting out in a 2-on-5. Scams and Resent against the world, able to win it out.
Yeah, I really liked the playthrough of Resent. That Nitro Cell kill was absolutely amazing. It was a beautiful kill. But overall, I feel like the attack definitely could have had a lot to do with preventing Resent from coming in with the pulse to prevent the uh, the kill from Smoke, I believe it was, if I'm correct. He was entirely it was a very one-sided engagement, taking down the planter. Where was the other attacker? He wasn't watching that smoke. There was no, direct
Attackers need to
um
locate and defuse
I
as
guess
many bombs as they
line
can.
being held into delivery. It was smoked off, but what is that going to do you when the smoke is able to, client-side his way through the plant and kill the Habana?
Yeah. It's not really. I mean, there's no way around it. Not very good coverage coming out from Navoza there.
Right.
As I mean, to be fair, it
It wasn't direct enough. The line
Yeah.
that was being held by Gridlock was not direct.
Yeah, it wasn't direct, but also it awkward
Could've been
because
much more
the
efficient.
smoke was in a bad spot in the sense that it didn't let Navozo, unless he was right on top of the Habana, it didn't let Navozo help out in any way because the smoke exposed the Habana but blocked off the entire rest of the angle. So yes, it's bad coverage on Navozo, but even more so, it's just a bad frag or a bad smoke grenade there coming out from him. But right now we're back to Hookah Billiards, the now expected secondary site for both of these teams. As the frag grenade from the Buck is going to come out below the bar as he now bucks it out and makes sure that no one is there and no one can play there, as this pressure is going to constantly stay there. As now Sim picks up Resent, I think, on the flank down below. Yep, Yams though trades right back onto Beezer, who is not having a good game. 2-7 right now. He is quiet as the Jaeger is able to clean up that one, able to pick him up, and he's still on the flank here, now into bathroom, but Sim able to pick up Skiboza as now Navozo on a flank as well. Scams goes down, and it's just PBQ wherever he is, and the Jaeger now in VIP on the flank. PBQ is in sight as now he's going to find one, or rather Navozo is going to get found. The C4 goes awry, and PBQ's on half health. Two guys are on the window for whatever reason, and this attack is stalling out now.
Yeah, it is stalling out. Right, when you have no way, finite way into the objective and long lines are being held from the defense, that is exactly what's going to happen for you. It's, the attack has to take the initiative to walk into the objective and make the plant happen. Otherwise, things are going to stagnate, like you were saying. But 1 minute left on the clock, so again, it gives the attack a lot of time to work with. Of course, now they're in the building and able to make an execute happen. But it's up to PBQ to prevent that. He's going to pick up one. That's on the rappel, and he's not going to pick up the next. Says Exile. We'll finish off the round for us with that amazing IQ. That's the LMG right there. It's not the AUG, as I would want it to be, but Yeah, I AUG.
Ooh,
I
yes.
vote AUG 100%. We had this debate last time we casted together.
I forgot.
AUG is 100% better. Suppressed AUG.
You obviously.
Hog.
Oh my god.
Suppressed
You obviously
AUG.
weren't there on Monday, Cthulhu. Yeah, we already had this debate. I'm pretty adamant that G8,
And the
especially against
R4C is
Ember
better as
Rise.
well. R4C is 100% better than G36.
This was the other one. I am staunchly G36 over R4C, and I'm also G8.
Locate and defuse as many bombs as they
Okay,
can.
R4C
Cthulhu.
is better
Looks like
than the
we're gonna have some
G36
problems here.
100%. And let me tell you why. Better damage.
Yes.
Better,
Bomb located.
right,
Thank you, Cthulhu.
better recoil control. Easy. I mean, you don't, it's so much easier to play with, okay? And,
ADS time.
I
That's all I
mean,
gotta say.
ADS time? What do you mean ADS time?
I can have an angled grip. What?
G36
I can
is
have an angled grip. I can take a gunfight faster with the
5
G36
seconds
than
left before insertion.
R4C. It doesn't
do you
matter about
mean?
fire rate if I can just click ahead faster because my gun aimed faster.
Well, just get better
Okay.
accuracy. That's easy. Exactly, get better accuracy. Hit your shots.
Yeah, all right.
Hit
Hit my shots,
your
I guess. You're right.
Hit your shots. No, okay, let's get back to the game. Okay, this is obviously an library. Right, if that is the correct term. Office is the technical term for it, if you guys want me to be super on. But I like to, my
Oh.
friends and I
Pog.
so it's,
T-Boza caught
it's-
one.
yeah, he did. That's Beezer, once again. Unfortunately can't spawn in. That's a tragedy.
I don't think there's been really a round where Beezer has gotten to play this game. He has been the bad
Yeah,
end of a
he's
bunch of
been-
opening picks.
He really has. So
right,
unfortunate.
right away into a 5-on-4 is almost now. Resent is going to get spammed from up top from the courtyard. But nothing will land as him and Yams run away. And he's actually going to pick up one on a sim here. Starting off the round really well for Amongst Kings. Just over a minute into the round, and it's already a 5-on-3. And that's sim going down the buck as the C4
Where
does
was
not
that
land.
score?
I think it was looking for Navozo, who is able to find Yams. But now, Hibana work is finally starting to happen. This is about the extent of Heartbreach on the map. Maybe this and VIP Wall. Just because the other sites don't really get played. Whoa. Down below, Exile is able to find Resent. And now it's the 3-on-3, and Scams is on low health thanks to Anarchy. Oh, he's getting to low health thanks to Anarchy.
So far, we don't have any real way into the objective. Of course, there's, I guess, indirect ways that the attack's been seeing into the objective via courtyard, but there hasn't been any clear line of sight main, and that's a little bit concerning. You see that Aqua, Habana's going to be pushing and applying pressure to there, but the rest of the attack is kind of just on their own, playing afar from the Habana, who's the best opportunity. But wow, as I say that, the entry's going to happen within 10 seconds flat. That's the gridlock and the IQ getting in on the action, but it's Habana to finish this up.
I thought so. I thought Anarchy had a bugged barricade there, as he made it work still, as though it's pretty annoying that he could see entirely open through it, and it most likely for the side of Scams on the smoke, he thought it was shut. So pretty annoying that he got shot in the back there, but now Medieval able to pick up a round lead here for, I think, the first time all game. They've just been trading back and forth tie rounds, but now able to be the first team to string together 2 in a row here. Definitely bodes well for them as they are looking to clean this one up, as now Blue Bar, Sunrise Bar, as interestingly, it's interesting that Amongst Kings is going to go here because Kitchen Service has unlocked. They won it the first round of the defense, and that was 3 rounds ago now. So this was the first round it was unlocked, and they still chose to go Bar and Sunrise, or Blue and Sunrise bars, which intrigues me because that shows that they have a confidence on this site, especially to win it out and then take it onto Kitchen Service to at least try and pick up that 6-5 lead, or they are just really risking it. Oh, that is true. Right. Maybe actually, never mind. I completely forgot that the reason they won kitchen was not because they handled it really well. It's because who was it? It was Scams and Resent that handled it really well. Yeah, it was those two that clutched it out on that site. Mostly Scams, with I think either 3 or 4 on there, but this is going to be different than Medieval's defense of the upstairs, as there's going to, firstly, BBQ's bringing out the dock, as he's going to get droned out and found out. And secondly, they're putting upstairs pressure, which is usually what you see on this site. It's either you play upstairs, as he's going to drop now, and relinquish all his upstairs pressure. You either play upstairs, or you play wide downstairs. And now, even though Resent is all on his own, there's a not very wide downstairs play. Skiboza is going to pick up Sim somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where he is, but now he's going to get stimmed up to full, as PBQ rather gets stimmed. Oh, he was hanging up on the window and got shot from down below. And with a minute 45 left in the round, just over halftime eclipsed as we approach there. That's all the upstairs, pretty much all the upstairs hard breach taken down. As, just kidding, Scams goes down from above and then gets docked, so it's like it kind of matters. Whoa. Angle play coming out here as PBQ is able to pick up Beezer and then stim himself back up to full. So, like, basically, like, nothing happened. I mean, it's 3 defenders on practically close to full health, if not all full. PBQ has gotten to full health twice now in this round, which is insane, as the smoke is looking to try and move the Hibana from her position, which he succeeds in just by threatening the smoke, and Yams is going to clean up Navozo. So, round heavily in favor here of Amongst Kings, with just under a minute left to go.
Right, you are. Now, Scams is going to pick up 1. That's on Exile. This time it leaves Anarchy himself to pick up the pieces of the rest of his team. And with the 1v5 situation, this opens up the possibility for a flawless round from Amongst Kings to put us to a 5-5 score line. Something that's been very back and forth this time with Medieval and Amongst Kings. You know, you really would expect them, right? Flawless round, but you really would expect them to be very attack-sided, right? Medieval in Villa, we saw a very different proceeding than this. It was very, it was a big struggle for Amongst Kings to pick up any rounds, to pick up any engagements for themselves, and then for Medieval to come in on Coastline and have the exact opposite proceeding is an interesting finding at that, to say the least. But something else that's actually really cool to know is the fact that you normally see, and this is really odd, you would normally imagine that the team that chose the map would win it, right? Because it's their map pick, it's what they know best, but even in PL, this happens all the time, where the team that chooses the map that they're going to play normally loses it.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
I personally have not found any reason why exactly that happens. Maybe it's an overestimation or underestimation of skill, or playing a little bit too confident, maybe allowing your strats to take, I guess, full precedence over the round. I don't really get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, I mean, I want to see how this site ends up. It already looks like a different start here coming out from Amongst Kings, as I think they're gonna, nope, they're still playing very aggressive upstairs here, as it is back to, I mean, they basically play, it's usually, it looks like PBQ and Yams play together, and then they kind of have just been throwing Resent out wherever he wants to go to play this this Pulse. So definitely helping out the info game here heavily, whereas the info denial between the Mute and the Mozzie upstairs and the Mute downstairs definitely helping out as they look to shut down upstairs info and anything trying to get into sight as well. Punch hole here from the Ash of Exile as the C4 comes out and shuts down Navozo. Scams with one already as Yams is just on half from an engagement somewhere. Already, they're just giving or getting away from this upstairs. I think they're just leaving Sim up here alone as these are holding his mouse one there as he's looking for the pulse for two. Shot through the floor. James, are you seeing this? James, look at that counter. But nope, 4-on-3 here for Medieval with a good start as now Sim picks up PBQ.
Something interesting, why is PBQ still sitting top floor when it is a 3v4 situation? He could be sitting back at the objective, or back around the objective. A little bit surprised at that, why he didn't take the opportunity to move out quicker. But, alright, well, Scams, he's gonna have to move his way back to the objective if he wants to go ahead and defend that. We see Fragboza sitting in the bathroom area, which allows him to rotate from bathroom and delivery pretty seamlessly, which is definitely a good thing on this part, being that he is Echo, and he is the one who can give us those plant denial opportunities that we do so love to see. Now we also see that Buck, he's definitely holding huge verticality angles now that the attack has full control of top floor, which is something good, being that it could aid post-plant very, very tremendously, and it's definitely going to be good in terms of frags and kind of rooting out the defense from where it is. As you saw Fragboza, he got a little bit damage from the Buck there, but he is going to be coming back as he picks up one, and that's Beezer off the board. That's your 2v3 situation. That's 2 for him. That's a double kill. Exile now off the board. Puts us to a 2v2. About 20 seconds left on the round. Anarchy and Sadboy, they're going to have to come in very, very quickly here. But Anarchy, he's responding to that. That's his dispute. Fragboza goes down in response. That's Gams left directly on the board. But he gets pinned off. So unfortunate. That's gonna be your Buck picking up the final kill of the round.
Skiboza is definitely looking pretty clutch on this Echo in these last couple of rounds, able to get his frags where they need to, but also not enough as he's gone. Well, he went from dropping a donut early on to he's gotten 4, I think, in the last 4 or 5 rounds on this defense. But he got 2 that last round, so we'll see if he can continue it as we're headed back to Hookah Billiards for the 3rd time this half. Both teams seemingly playing this map, or not this map, this site a lot, just because of how stuff works out. And Resent once again on this pulse. He's been getting really good calls so far on a lot of these pulses that he's sending off. But I mean, it's been definitely very influential. That's a interesting shield. Fully expecting Anarchy to open up that window, and so he can try and protect himself as best he can. Not that window. He's trying to open up parts of that wall to take down the smoke. So I wonder how Medieval is going to try and work this. They can fully get Resent out from down below once again, or if he's going to continue his little rampage, as I believe it was with his calls last round that Navozo was taken down thanks to the C4 that went up. But yeah, I mean, a nice part about Coastline is a lot of these floors are very destructible, and it allows those C4s to be very readily used. Most likely going to be PBQ running around with Resent for that sake. As actually, that's a nice angle that I've never known you can get through the shotgun part of the wall. But we're going to see a very early engagement here from Exile with Resent, actually, as the Jaeger is playing up above to try and support where he can. Pushing up aggressively onto the Ash here is Resent, as he actually wins out the gunfight. half health on him as Exile not able to ADS fast enough and win that out. But shotgun from behind is the pulse. The Echo drone not able to mess him up. But the opening frag still goes to Amongst Kings here on round 12. Able to make that happen and definitely put themselves slightly ahead as all the Ashes utility was still up unused. But as was Resent's C4, Yams is going to get tagged down as he was sprayed through the window of VIP by Nivozo on Gridlock and gets in a gunfight with the Buck and loses it out. Sim is going to put his team ahead in this potentially final round, but Skiboza has something to say about it. Sim's going to trade back for his third kill of the round, looking for that 4-piece or the ace, as he's now pushing in from, I believe, VIP. Nope, he has moved over to luggage with the Hibana here, as it's just the two of them with Beezer on the windows as the first of the smoke grenades comes down.
Right. Anarchy is going to be having to hold the long line if he wants to make this plant out. Along with that, Buck is going to join the gang. It's about 40 seconds left on the clock. 2v3 situation. Scams has one smoke, but he doesn't use it. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was the utility. Okay, Scams has one smoke left. He's got PBQ with the nitro as well, so that could be a potential kill.
This is so winnable for Amongst Kings here.
It is so winnable. That's your last smoke used.
Oh my god.
All utility off the board. 2v2 situation. Scam's gonna pick up one, and that's the nitro cell going in as well. Beezer's the final operator left up, but PBQ is gonna end off everything. And Scams as well. Sorry.
After a great round, that was
With the
so aggressive from the Buck there, as he pushed up into the sight line of Scams on the smoke, getting too aggressive trying to deny the Mozzie as no plant came down at the same time. And it just seemed like too much stall happening there or too much hesitation rather from Medieval as they were stalling out just a bit. But all in all, we'll see now Medieval is starting on the defense here once again, just like they did to start the match. And we'll go to Hookah Billiards, which they had the best track record on. They won it 2 of the 3 times they went to it, whereas the Sunrise Blue Bar, they won 50% of the time, and they lost their one kitchen defense. So compare that to the 2 Hookah Billiards defenses that it seemed Amongst Kings lost, and they were able to win 1 kitchen defense. I mean, it still went 3-3 for the half, so they won Blue Bar, won a hookah, and won a kitchen. Lost a kitchen and lost 2 hookahs, so we're going to see how this fares, as they'll have to probably pick, I would say, realistically. So you assume, oh, that's an aggressive spot from Beezer, as he's actually not detected here on the wall, and he's going to be able to get a cheeky find on the Scams, able to slide his way out the door, and that might be a good start to the round. Actually, it's not even, it might, it definitely is a good start to the round, as you take down the hot hand of Scams, who is a tied top frag with Resent at 11. And obviously that's a good start that you like to see, because these attack halves can go either way. As he runs out again now onto Skiboza. Beezer is getting stupid aggressive here, as he's just running around looking for everyone. He's going to take a gunfight, lose it out to Yams, though. Not able to lay a bullet on her, but he has more than enough made his mark known, as he's put Medieval ahead in a 3-on-4 here on Hookah Billiards, and very little vertical play is going to be allowed now that the Buck is taken down.
Yeah, unfortunate as it is, it gives lots of opportunities for the defense to stagnate on the attack's play, which could be great for Medieval going into the rest of this round. Now we see PBQ, Yams, and Resent left up on the board, but Anarchy is going to be putting himself into an engagement between him and Yams. With Yam sitting on the repel as well. That PBQ peeking down 90 for the long line, potentially into hookah. Is this going to be an engagement? This could be an engagement between Exile and PBQ. If he gets aggressive. It's Anarchy actually versus PBQ, but PBQ gets shut down by Exile. That's an amazing kill for him, and a double as Exile picks up on Resent now. Amazing shot. Yams is left on his lonesome. About 1 minute left on the clock. Diffuser is not in his hands.
Yeah. Navoso choking on his own gas grenade from Exile. As it's just down to Yams on a bullet's worth of HP. Exile is on about 2-ish, as Anarchy is most definitely on 3 health. That's being generous, I think. But yeah, it's pretty rough going for Yams. He's got a man prone on his left as Navoso cleans it up for a near flawless round. Bees are the only loss as he has gone down. Or he went down getting aggressive, but his early picks definitely paved the way for that round and are paving the way to see Medieval succeed here as, well, realistically, if you're Medieval here, you have to know this is your one shot at a win. If not, it's looking dicey on that last defense unless you can get some early picks going again. And interestingly, Amongst Kings is going to go kitchen service. One of the times they won this was they lost it once, and they won it once on a massive clutch up coming from Scams and Resent on that pulse, which he picks up yet again. So it's interesting. It definitely is obviously their comfort site. They picked it first, and they have gone to it now 3 times. But I guess they just didn't feel comfortable on Blue and Sunrise because they didn't. Obviously, they just didn't choose it. They decided to go to the site that they nearly lost twice. They should have lost twice, but that they won once and lost once. And the other time that they truly did lose it, both times really, they have been so handily taken out upstairs by these attackers. They play very heavily in Penthouse and Theater, and both times they have been handled very heavily. So we'll see if Medieval can keep up these winning ways that they've had on this site, and we'll also see how Amongst Kings decides that they want to change it up.
All right. So nothing really unorthodox about the way that the team composition is working for the attack or the defense. We definitely see a top floor entry alongside a Sunrise, which is, again, nothing out of the ordinary for competitive play. And alongside that, a good roam on the way of PBQ and Yams. Respectively, Jaeger and Mozzie sitting in Aqua. They definitely can apply pressure to any attackers trying to walk into VIP and or hookah. So that roam clear is going to have to be very definitive if the attackers want to make their way over to kitchen. Now, Scams, you got the pickup on Buck. So unfortunate. That is, once again, your Buck going down. So that means is obviously no verticality being put into play, or if any, very little. And then your frags and fragging ability.
Yep. So C4 goes out of the way as Yams is down as well in a 4-on-4. The other C4 goes errant too, so that's no more C4s coming out from Amongst Kings. Full upstairs pressure for Medieval here as they now go to work on these lower health operators. Skiboza, Scams, and PBQ are all close or at half, as now Skiboza goes lower than half, taking some shots. Resent has taken also a little bit of damage, but Beezer has gotten it traded right back to him. But now, still a minute left, actually. Skiboza with a nice shot on a single bit of health takes down the Ash of Exile, who has really heated up this half. But now getting aggressive below. He's not going to be downed by the Hibana a lot of shots onto those metal bars, and he's going to get away safely. Now playing aggressive is Scams up on this barricade with the shotgun, but the hot hand of Resent. That C4 scanner man is going to go down. PBQ doesn't or might have the jump here on the blue stairs player, but no. That is Navozo running away, and it's with 30 seconds left. It's up to Beezer, Anarchy, and Navozo to clean up what remains of these attackers. The Echo drone comes down as he now has to reposition to the attackers who just jumped in. But the plant is almost down all the way. The Echo gets off the plant or off his drone, and Beezer is able to pick up a second kill. Scams trades it right back, but Skiboza is on just 1 health, and Scams is on just about half. No defuse is coming down, but the plant is perfectly covered here. Gridlock tracks are coming down. Navozo is still upstairs, and Anarchy is just outside the window. Skiboza has to jump outside to deal with them as Scams starts to take a bunch of health. Skiboza does start to shoot out those traps. He's now well known. The mute goes down. This is all but locked out as now Navozo cleans up Skiboza. 8-6 half, or 8-6 match point for at Medieval as they are able to win out 2-0 over amongst Kings. And like you said, this might be one of the new top rivalries as Medieval coming up from rival able to knock out the second ranked team from last season. Great
So
showings
unfortunate.
from Sim, Navozo, and the trio of Resent, Scams, and I think that was Yams. Maybe no, it was PBQ. I think actually, my bad. But yeah, 7-3-8-6. Yeah, I think
GG's, thank you.
that will be G coming out from everyone, and we're gonna show some replays from that match before we come in to the next match in just a bit. Stay tuned for about 20 minutes or so for that between Deception and Arrival 7.